West Coast Fred, and it's a nice night. I just wanted to do a video. I felt like doing a video. I would do it on my other channel, but that's more geared towards uh, African American topics in particular. This one is kind of geared towards personal videos of when I want to send them to friends or just want to say something that I really don't want on my other channel. And this is more of like a miscellaneous channel. My personal channel is really tied to my Google Hangout. But let me talk about stereotypes. Now, a person, and not gonna say her name, but she asked me, so I told her I do video blogs, and I'm like, what do you want me to talk about? And I said, I'm gonna talk about stereotypes. And what I think about stereotypes are these are like statements and facts that are, it's like half true, half false. It's like truth mixed with bullshit. A stereotype is kind of like you prejudge someone and then you treat the whole group based on that stereotype. Like all black people like fried chicken. All white people don't season their chicken. All black folks are ghetto. All Jewish people are greedy. All Filipinos are tight with their money. So it's kind of like that may not be accurate. And I really don't like to talk about a general specific topic like stereotypes, because when you talk about stereotypes, you have to be very specific about what type of stereotype you're talking about. Like, for example, if you say, hey, look, all fat people like to eat, that may not be true. All it's like saying like all vegans all vegans will demonize you for eating meat. Not true at all. Now, what I like to get into is using examples. I don't know the in general, the origin of stereotype is one group of people looking at another, or one person looking at another and saying, you know what, if they start to see if I start to if I every time I used to see a walk, I was like walking to school or walking to work or driving to work or just on a trail in the morning somewhere because I had to go somewhere, and I'd always see like these old white couples or white people who they'd always be jogging, and then I would see them, and sometimes I would see the elderly white people using they'd be running, but they'd be hella cold and they'd be running in shorts. And I'm like, bro, why y'all running in shorts? I'm thinking I'm black. I don't know. I got to have me some sweatpants or some shit like that. I need to have it because I'm cold. Black folks don't like the cold, but apparently, so in my mind, I have a stereotype that that a good chunk of white people, if not all of them, they like to they're all into fitness, and they like to wear shorts in the middle at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's fucking freezing, dude. It's like 32 below, and you didn't pick the hoodie and the fucking sweat, the little cotton sweats. No, you picked the shortest pants possible and the lowest socks you can find with your in tennis shoes, and you got the nerve to wear a tank top. I don't get it. That's kind of a stereotype I have. It's like when I would say, I have to admit I have a stereotype for white people like that. I don't think it's a bad one, but it's like I would see that a lot. So in my mind, I get a feeling that they're all going to go do it, even though that's not true. But I have the impression that when I see something enough, it's like pattern recognition. You recognize something, and you assume it's for the whole group. Now, uh, like for example, a stereotype. What's one good origin of a stereotype? All black people are these dumb bumbling clowns. Now, let me give you an example. I have a conversation with my little brother about Dragon Ball Super. Now, in one of these videos, episodes that I saw of Dragon Ball Super, there is this type of character called the God of Destruction, and there were like 13 universes in Dragon Ball Z. There's a multiverse. In one of these universes, Universe 11 had a god of destruction. It was supposed to be the most powerful, well, one of those powerful beings in that universe. His name was Balmud. Balmud was a clown. Now, if you notice about clowns, a lot of clowns, the makeup, the typical makeup is having a very furry fro and a big nose. Look at Pennywise. Remember It? Remember the new movie It, Stephen King? Pennywise, big nose, loud, bushy, loud hair, like very, very bushy and uh, uh, afro-like, or at least kind of stiff. It just sticks up. It sticks out. Where does that come from? I'll tell you where the origin of a clown comes. Now you got to ask yourself, why is a caricature from the US in a Japanese show that's produced all across the world? Well, here's the case. The idea and concept of a clown comes from America. When you dig further into the idea of a clown comes from the circus. The circus is very prevalent. When you look at the circus, you see all these clowns and big noses and fros and white paint, and they're acting like fools. Okay? But if you then if you notice, these were some of the first forms of entertainment in this country. Before that, if you look at TV shows of entertainment, these clowns were not in whiteface; they were in blackface. And when these white people, yes, there was usually a lot of clowns in circuses were white people, not all, but like in the first circuses in this country, a lot of them were in blackface. And the blackface, that would come from watching white people. That would come from white people who were in like the 1920s and 30s, and even a little bit before that. They would look at black people entertaining themselves. They were sitting there dancing around because they're bored. They didn't know what to do, so they're doing the Jim Crow dance, and this weird dance that black people would just do to pass the time. And white people caught on to this. It was entertaining to them. They would like to see it. And to them, we were all clowns because we were just acting a fool and being goofy and making everyone laugh, even the white people around us. Because when they weren't being prejudiced, they were laughing at us. This turned into an idea, a stereotype that turned into a caricature, that turned into something fun to do to make money off of. If you see, when you look at clowns from black and white pictures, just Google them. You'll see that a lot of these clowns, they have big round faces. They have big fros or just big bushy hair. They have tattered clothes. Now, that's very interesting because if you look at the oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. I thought my battery is dead. But if you look at the stereotype of black people being clowns, you will see old former slaves, former black African slaves with tattered clothes, just like the clowns wear. The big fro was where, well, we didn't have like big ass fros, but you'll see the nappy fro and the big lips, representative of black people's features, particularly black men, because that's where those caricatures came from. So the stereotype that all black people are clowns or lazy, they're fools, we're not smart back in the day, comes from that very concept. Every stereotype has an origin. Every mythology were based on real life applications. For example, now this is not really a stereotype, but let me give you an example. What is the origin of a vampire? In this Western society, the origin of a vampire comes from European folklore. Now, this is very interesting because when you look back at the vampire, the history of the vampire can be traced back to a book called Dracula. A guy named Bram Stoker wrote this book. He based it off a guy who lived in Romania hundreds of years ago who was fighting the Ottoman Empire, Vlad Tepes, or Vlad the Impaler, because he impaled his victims and ate their organs. See, during the Dark Ages in Europe, there a lot of cannibalism came about. A lot of the consuming of the flesh came into being. Was Dracul or Vlad the Impaler or Vlad Tepes, that's where the first concept, one of the earliest concepts of the vampire. Before that, it was a biblical person named Cain, but that's a different story. It's a little older than that. But we're talking about the European folk origins. Now, the part where the drinking of the blood comes in can be contributed to a woman called the Countess. I think her name was Elizabeth, but I think I got that part wrong. But it's the Countess. She was a woman who was growing in age, and she drove herself insane because she was obsessed with their looks. She would kill her maiden servants and bathe in their blood. This is where the blood drinking comes in. The blood drinking tied to, and also you bring in Vlad the Impaler, and then you get Dracula. That's the way that's the origin. But I was just giving an example where stereotypes come from real life situations, and people superimpose their ideas, and then they bring it out into the world, and they kind of replicate the social nuances and norms of that. That's pretty much what I have to say. But generally, stereotypes, you can't talk about a stereotype accurately unless you know which stereotype you're talking about, and then you know the specific real origins of that stereotype. Stereotypes are bad. They have truth they're based in truth, but they're also based with little bullshit because it's applied to the whole group. It's kind of like it's a form of prejudice. It's like stereotyping that all black men who wear hoodies are violent. No, it's just freaking cold. It's just really cold. That's all that is. But I really made this video for someone that I thought was kind of cute. But actually she's not kind of cute. She's really cute actually. But that's the whole story. But that's what I wanted to talk about. It's a short vid. But I'm gonna call it a night, and I'm gonna send this to her. Hopefully you got something out of this. But I will talk to y'all in the next vid. Later, y'all.